Hi, I'm Mark Barsamian with the Math Department at Ohio University in Athens, Ohio. I'm the coordinator for the course Math 1350, Survey of Calculus. This is an introductory video for the fall 2023 semester of the course. As I said, I'm the course coordinator. That means that I've designed the course. I've written the outlines for the Monday, Wednesday, Friday class meetings. I've written a collection of homework assignments, a large collection, 90 of them in fact, and have produced a large collection of videos, 79 of those, that accompany those homework assignments. I write the quizzes for the course. I write the exams. I will plan the final exam. I meet with the instructors and I support the instructors and help them learn about how the course is organized. But I am not actually an instructor. I'm just the coordinator, as I said. So in other words, when you go to class, your Monday, Wednesday, Friday class meetings, you won't see me. You'll see your instructor. And you might go the entire semester without ever seeing me. It might turn out that I drop by your class for some reason or another at some point during the semester, but a lot of you will never see me in person. You'll see my video, you'll see my face in the videos, but you won't see me in person. If by some chance you happen to be on campus and run into me at some point, stop me and tell me that you're in the course and introduce yourself. And I'll be very glad to meet you and hear how the course is going and how your semester is going and hear a little bit about you. I'd love to have some faces to go with the names. There are hundreds of students in Math 1350, and I'm bummed that I get to meet so few of them. All right, so as I said, this is an introductory video. You're probably watching this because you received an email from me telling you to watch this, or maybe you found your way to the Blackboard page for the course or the course web page and found the link to this video. Well, so we're going to start the video by going to the Blackboard page because most of you probably know about Blackboard, know about the Blackboard pages for your courses that you're taking. You'll have a Blackboard page for Math 1350. So let's go there. I'm going to switch my screen to show my web page, or my Blackboard page. So my Blackboard page looks like this. If I look at my list of courses, it shows all these courses that I'm involved in teaching. You'll see all the courses that you're taking. Here are a bunch of Math 1350 sections. I coordinate all of these. I'm going to click on one of these, section 122, but they all look the same. You'll see your Math 1350 Blackboard page, and you'll click on it, and you'll go there, and it'll look like this. On this Blackboard page, there are not many things shown here. There are only 3 menu items here on the left side of the page, and the Blackboard page just has sort of basic course information. So it starts by telling you what you'll come here for. First of all, this is the Blackboard page for section 122. It gives the meeting times and locations for that section. It gives the TA or the instructor information and their email contact, and then explains why you'll be coming here. One thing you'll come to this Blackboard page for is to find a link to the Math 1350 web page. That link is down here. So the Math 1350 web page is not this Blackboard page. The web page is something that's outside of Blackboard. We'll go to that web page in a little bit. Another thing that you'll come to this web page for is to find your student number. When you come to the very bottom of this web page, there's a list of student numbers. Your name is going to be next to one of these. At the end of the first week of class, I'll be putting names there. A third thing that you'll come to this Blackboard page for is these 2 items, to go to the MyLab system or to go to read the e-text for the course. Both of those items are done by coming to the left of this window and clicking on Digital Course Materials. That opens this page, which takes you to a sequence of things that takes you to what are called the digital course materials for the course. Finally, you'll come to this Blackboard page to see your scores on graded items. You click on My Grades in the left column, and it takes you to this page where you can see your scores on presentations, on quizzes, on exams, and on the final exam. Your instructor will be putting scores here. You'll come here to find out about immediate tasks that you need to do. Also, you'll find this on the main course webpage. There's also a link to support for the MyLab system. All right, so let's go back up. As I said, maybe the most common thing you'll come here for is doing the homework, going to coming to this MyLab system to do your homework, or coming to read the e-text. Both of those are done by clicking on that link, the digital course materials link. But another thing that you come to this web page, to this Blackboard page for, is to get this link to the Math 1350 web page. Let's go there now, because most of the information about the course is actually on that web page. So we click on this link, and a new browser page opens up. That's the web page for this course. This is a public web page. It's not hidden in Blackboard. We got here by going through Blackboard, but this URL in the upper left corner, this web address, is a public URL. You can get here from anywhere that you can browse the web. So once you get here the first time, for instance by coming through Blackboard, you can bookmark this page, and in the future you can come here without having to come through Blackboard first. All right, on this web page there is of course a link to this introductory video. There's also a link to a video about how to set up the MyLab system. That's the system that you use, these digital course materials. This link takes you to a page where you use this system called MyLab. That's here, and that has to be set up, and it's a fairly finicky setup. So there's a video with a link on this main course webpage that goes through the steps of how to set that up. Okay, farther down this main course webpage is this section on course information. There are 8 items here. We're going to try to get through these as quickly as possible. The first item is course format, a hybrid course format. Let's learn about that. So this course is in what's called a hybrid format. That means that the course is taught in more than one way. So our course has 2 components. That's why it's called hybrid. Course component number 1 is instructional videos and online homework. So I put together the homework assignments and I developed the videos. That's me, Mark Barsamian, the course coordinator. And these videos present all of the mathematical content for the course in full detail. So that's course component 1, the delivery of the mathematical content through those homework assignments and videos. Let me show you how that works. So when you come to Blackboard and you click on this digital course materials page, and you click on this the digital course materials link, and you click on this vital source course dashboard, you'll be brought to this page here, which is an entry point to this MyLab system. It's a system that's run by Pearson, the publisher of our textbook. Now the first time you come here, you'll have to get this set up. There's a number of steps that you'll go through, but once that's set up, when you launch into this system, you end up in what's called MyLab, and here is the MyLab page for section 122. And here is the list of homework assignments. And as I said, there are a lot of them. There are 90 of them, 90 homework assignments. That's the bad news. The good news is a lot of these homework assignments are very short. It's basically one concept per homework assignment. Now, these homework assignments have, as I said, accompanying videos. So, for instance, homework number 2, when you come into this homework system to do homework number 2, you click on it. There are 4 questions on homework number 2, but you can't click on these yet. You have to first watch this video, Limits Video A, which is the video in which I teach you the skills you need for doing homework number 2. And then you have to click and read these notes. These notes are the notes that were used in the production of that video. Now that you've done those 2 things, you'll see that you can now click on these questions and do the homework questions for homework number 2. So this is how course component number 1 works. The delivery of mathematical content through these videos and their accompanying notes that you'll be watching and reading in preparation for doing these homework assignments. So again, that's course component 1, the instructional videos and online homework. That's where we actually teach you the mathematical content. Okay, so back to the hybrid format. The hybrid format has 2 components. The second component is Monday, Wednesday, Friday class meetings led by your instructor. Now those are held in person. Now these meetings are discussions. The purpose of the meetings is not delivery of mathematical content. Remember that the delivery of mathematical content is course component number 1, the instructional videos and the online homework. These in-person meetings are discussions. Now, in these discussions, the instructor will introduce topics and maybe present some examples or maybe pose questions to you. But the most important part of those meetings is the group activities. You'll work together in groups of 2 or 3 on class drills. And then also there are what are called student presentations. That is, each of you will be giving presentations in this class. Each of you will 3 times during the semester have to give a presentation. Now that sounds very daunting, but in fact you'll see very quickly that it's not. The student presentations will usually be about presenting the solution to a class drill that the student just worked on. So the class meetings will consist of some introduction by the instructor, and then maybe some examples by the instructor, and then the class will work on a class drill, and then some student will get up and give a presentation that explains how that class drill was supposed to work. Some class meetings will include either a quiz or an exam. So that's the course format details. In this course information, we've gone through this first thing, course format. The second item is grading. During this course, you'll accumulate points up to a possible of 1,045 by doing the online homework, by doing your presentations, by taking quizzes. You take 8 quizzes, we'll keep the best 7 of those. By taking exams, you'll take 3 exams, we'll keep the best 2 of those. And by taking the final exam. At the end of the semester, your points total, which could be up to 1,045, will get divided by 1,000 to get a percentage. And then your percentage will be converted into your course letter grade using the 90, 80, 70, 60 grading scale. Now notice that the total possible points is 1,045, but your points total is divided by 1,000 to get the percentage. So in other words, there are 45 extra credit points. That's the homework points. You could think of those as extra credit. If you didn't do the homework, you just did these things, you could get a perfect score of 1,000 in this course. It's unlikely because you really need to do these homework assignments to learn the material. Because remember, it's during the working on those homework assignments that you watch those videos, and that's the delivery of the mathematical content. But I treat those points as extra credit points just because I know it's a lot of work, and I want to make it clear that I think of this as sort of really a lot of work, and I want to make it feel like kind of a bonus. All right, a couple things to notice. Things that are not it's part of this. There is no grade curving. You get a percentage, and that percentage is used to convert to a letter grade using this grading scale. There is no curve. Also, things that are not part of your course grade. Attendance. Attendance is recorded. It's required and it's recorded, but it's not part of your course grade. I'll talk more about that later. Also, the class drills. When you're in class, you'll be doing these group activities. Those are not scored. They're not graded. The class presentations are scored. Okay, that's the second item. We've discussed the format of the course. We've discussed the grading. Let's talk about the attendance policy. As I said, attendance is required, and it's going to be recorded by your instructor, but it's not part of your course grade. But missing class will affect your course grade because there are things that happen during class sometimes that are worth points. So let me talk more about missing class. First of all, if you miss class, it's your responsibility to learn the stuff that you missed. So you can come here and read more about that. Your instructor will not meet with you to go over stuff for the days that you missed in class. It's your responsibility to learn that stuff. Furthermore, let's talk about what happens if you miss class on a day when there is a quiz or an exam. Well, if you miss class on a day where there's a quiz or exam, you won't get the points for that quiz or an exam unless you get a makeup quiz or an exam. Now, that's not always possible. There are some situations where it is possible. We'll go through those. If you miss a quiz or exam because of illness, then you can get a makeup quiz or exam. But there are a lot of things that are required in order to make that system work. Those are described here. You need to come to this webpage and read these instructions in detail about what to do if you're sick and you hope to get a makeup quiz or exam. There are important things that have to be done if you want to get a makeup quiz or exam. Another reason that you might miss a quiz or exam is because of a university activity. Maybe you're on a sports team or in an academic organization that the university runs that will have some event and you're going to miss a quiz or exam. Well, if that happens, you can get a makeup. But again, there are things that need to be done to make that work. You need to come to this webpage and read those details. Another reason that you might miss a quiz or exam and be entitled to a makeup is because of some religious holiday that you observe. So you are entitled to get a makeup quiz or exam. But again, there are requirements to make that work. You need to come and read these requirements on the course webpage about getting a makeup quiz or exam because of religious observation. An important thing is that if you have a religious holiday that you know you're going to want to observe this fall, you need to notify your instructor no later than Monday, September 11th to make arrangements, even if that holiday is in November or December. Now, you might miss quizzes or exams because you just are not in class. Maybe you just skipped a Friday class because you wanted to go home a day early for the weekend. Or maybe you wanted to extend Thanksgiving into a whole week and skip that Monday class. Well, those are not excused absences. If you miss a quiz or exam because of personal travel or just because of personal reasons, you don't get a makeup quiz or exam. So that quiz or exam will just have to be one of those that gets dropped. Remember that in the grading system I described how we give 8 quizzes, I keep the best 7. You take 3 exams, we keep the best 2 of those. So if you miss a quiz or exam for a personal reason that's not excused, that quiz or exam just has to be one that's dropped. There's information on this webpage about electronic communication. You need to use your official OU email address or use the Teams program. Don't use a personal email address such as Gmail, and don't use text messages. You should not be giving your instructor your cell phone number. The instructor should not give you their cell phone number. Communications between OU 1350 students and instructors should be on the OU email program or using the Teams program. Furthermore, it's your responsibility to check your OU email every day. There's sometimes important stuff that comes out about this course, and you need to get that information. Also, there can be times when you're in communications with your instructor about things like getting a makeup quiz or an exam. You have to write to your instructor in a timely manner. You have to read the replies from your instructor in a timely manner. If your instructor tells you you need to take a makeup quiz on Monday, you can't come in on Thursday and say, oh, I didn't know about that because I didn't read my email. No, you need to read your email, and so that when your instructor tells you things like that, you know about them. So that's the electronic communications policy. On this webpage, there's a policy about cheating. You can read that. Required and optional computer tools. Let's look at that. You already know about Blackboard. We've looked at that. You know about the MyLab system. That's the system that you use for doing homework and for reading the book. Now that system is not free. That's paid for by what's called the Inclusive Access System. When you come to this course Blackboard page and you go to Digital Course Materials and you click to this page that has this portal to the digital course materials, it shows an image of our book and it says this, Inclusive Access. That means that you're actually, your payment for these digital materials is taken care of by the Ohio University Student Account System. So your payment for these materials is put on your OU student account. So you don't have to, in order to get into these digital materials, enter in credit card information or something. If you ever get to the point where you're being asked for credit card information, don't. You should not be asked for credit card information. You're part of what's called the Inclusive Access System. You get into this courseware and it's paid for by this as part of this system, and it's paid for on your student account. So that's Blackboard, MyLab, other useful tools. Microsoft Teams is an online collaboration tool. There's great functionality there. There's chat, group chat, conversations, instant messaging. There's all sorts of things you could do in the Teams program. That's the computer tools. Okay, I've mentioned already the homework system and the inclusive access program. I've mentioned that you get into the homework system by going to Blackboard, clicking on this launch courseware, and you end up in the homework system. And I've discussed the inclusive access program. Now let me discuss the calendar briefly. We're on the last item of this 8-item course information menu, the calendar. Click on that link. It pulls up a new tab that's the course calendar. In this window is a list of weeks, 16 weeks of the semester. Each week has a button. You can click on that button and you can find the course details for the class meetings that happen that week. The third week of class, there are 3 class meetings. Each class meeting has a button. If we open one of these up, we see on Monday, September 11th, that's day 6, the meeting's going to have 2 parts. In meeting part 1, let's see what happens. Okay, the instructor is going to introduce the idea of continuity and present a definition, and then you students will go right to work. You're going to work in groups of 2 or 3 on this class drill. And then student number 4, whoever you are, you're going to do a presentation, your first presentation of the semester. That's going to be present a solution to that class drill that the class just worked on. So as I said before, class presentations will often work this way. The whole class will work in groups of 2 or 3 on a class drill, and then one student will stand up and give a presentation that's showing how that class drill was supposed to work. Now that might sound daunting, but again, as I said before, you'll see fairly quickly that it's not. One thing to notice, in this calendar, there's a link that there's some instructions, some hints for how to prepare, if you're student number 4, how to prepare for that class presentation. Read these notes. There's a link to the notes for that video number 16. That's how student number 4 should prepare for their presentation. So that's this calendar, this active calendar. It's a web page calendar. There's also a link at the top of this page. This is the web page that's the calendar web page. There's a link to a printable calendar. You're going to be getting a printout of this on the first day of class. This is a one-page document that shows the entire semester at a glance. So for instance, we are just looking in the online calendar at Monday, September 11th. You see on this one-page calendar, it says that day you're going to be discussing section 2.3, continuity. It also says that students 4 and 5 will be doing presentations that day. Oh, and look, student number 4, you're also going to be presenting later in the semester on Monday, October 9th, and later in the semester again on Wednesday, November 8th. So you can see at a glance that's the 3 times that student number 4, whoever you are, will be presenting. You can also see that almost every Friday this semester there's a quiz or an exam. They're highlighted in red over here in the far right column. Not all Fridays though. The first Friday there's no quiz, and the last Friday of the semester there's also no quiz. So there are some exceptions to the Friday quiz exam pattern. There are also 2 exceptions that are Mondays. Monday, November 13th, there's a quiz. It's not a Friday, it's a Monday, and there's a quiz, quiz 7. Oh, and look, Monday, November 20th, that's a Monday. It's not a Friday. There is an exam, exam number 3. And look, that's the Monday of the week of Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is a 5-day holiday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday and Tuesday of that week are not holidays. Monday, there's an exam. There's an exam in Math 1350. If you decide that you're going to skip class this day and extend your Thanksgiving holiday to an entire week, that's up to you. But that's not an excused absence, and that's not an exam that you can get a makeup for. So that'll just have to be an exam that gets dropped. So that's how the calendar works, and now we've gone through all 8 items in the course information. Let's quickly describe your immediate tasks now. We've discussed how the course works. You need to go to Blackboard, follow those instructions to get MyLab configured. Remember, you're going to go to Digital Course Materials, Vital Source Course Dashboard. That'll land you here, and then you're going to follow those instructions that are found in that video. How to set up MyLab. Follow those instructions to get it set up. That's one immediate task. Another immediate task is go to Blackboard, find your student number. Remember, at the bottom of the Blackboard page, there's this list of student numbers. Starting September 2nd, there'll be names on this list. The presentations don't start the first week. They start the second week. So these names won't be put here until the end of the first week. So that's your second immediate task, get your student number. And then immediate tasks, start your study routine. In the MyLab, your study really should be organized by keeping your eye on two calendars. One is the calendar that's the list of homework assignments. Keep an eye on these due dates. Notice there's an assignment due already on Wednesday, August 30th. There's no math on that assignment. It's just testing that you know how to get into MyLab. But the very next day, August 31st, Thursday, there are two assignments due. So you need to keep your eye on that calendar, the list of homework assignments with due dates, in order to get those assignments done in time. The other calendar that you need to keep an eye on is this web page calendar, or this single page printed calendar, so that you know which days you have to give a presentation on. So those are your immediate tasks. Now, farther down this page are some resources. First of all, if you have any specific physical, psychiatric, or learning disabilities and you need accommodations for that, please let your instructor know as soon as possible. Let your instructor know as soon as possible so that they can help meet your needs. Also, you should register with the Office of Student Accessibility Services to get written documentation of your accommodations and to learn about other resources that they may have. Some other resources for extra help. Go to your instructor's office hours. Also, come to this webpage, this main course webpage, and find this link to the Academic Achievement Center's webpage. This is a wonderful thing. The Academic Achievement Center runs free one-on-one tutoring. It runs academic coaching. It runs something called homework hubs. It runs what's called supplemental instruction. There's a ton of stuff that's available there. Well, that's all I wanted to discuss. This video was longer than I would have liked, but you can see there's a lot to get through in the organization of this course. So, and you can see that this course is substantial. There's you'll do a lot of work in this course. There's no way to make that to dress that up. I mean, 90 homework assignments is a lot of homework assignments. 79 videos is a lot of videos. You'll do a lot of work in this course. But I hope it's productive work, and I hope that you feel like you learn stuff. We've been using this hybrid course format for the last 3 years, and it seems to work well. Overall, students do seem to learn from this format. Some students don't. Every semester I do encounter some students who complain that in their class meetings we didn't teach them the math. Well, remember that the class meetings are not about us teaching you the math. This is a hybrid course. There are two components. The component number one is the homeworks in those online videos. It's there where you learn the mathematical content. Course component number two, that's those meetings that are discussion meetings. So you want to make sure that you make full use of course component one to learn the content for this course and to work on that homework. So as I said, I know the course is a lot of work, but I hope it's successful. I hope that you have a good semester, and I hope that I run into you at some point on campus and that we can meet in person. I'll be very glad to hear about your experience at OU and in the course and hear what you're studying. So at this point, I'm going to sign off and say best wishes for success. Bye.